Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. Labor Day weekend is upon us. A good time to take a 3-day weekend or 4-day weekend or 5-day weekend and chill out and not work. And we've been working hard, haven't we, all year? It got me thinking about bands and rock stars and musicians that work hard. You know, what do we want to see and hear other, than great music? Is for me, when I go to a concert, I want to see a guy that's working hard, not making it look hard by taking these solos and he's making it look difficult. I want to see a guy sweat. I want to see a woman sweat. I want to feel like they're giving me my money's worth and that they're not just mailing it in. We know the bands that do that. There are bands that the music's so great and they don't necessarily need to put on this performance. It's just not what they do. But I'm going to list some people, my favorite people that I've seen on stage, and people that are just prolific in general for putting out music and working constantly, and it's very apparent. So I'm gonna miss guys here. I'm gonna miss people. Put in the comment section people that I'm clearly missing and forgetting about. Bob Seger. I'll never forget seeing Bob Seger about 10 or 12 years ago and realizing that yes, maybe his best vocal days were behind him, but man, he's putting on a show and he's trying so hard to hit those notes and he's giving it everything he's got at advanced stage. Obviously Bruce Springsteen, just 3.5-hour shows. There's no stopping it. It's part of his shtick that it's a long endurance run. Springsteen's always great. Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the drum solos, that's an athletic performance. Just one of the best people to see live. Check out his ELP Experience legacy band, that's incredible. Tommy Aldridge, same thing with Whitesnake drummer, just a powerhouse guy that's giving it everything. The late Michael Lee on drums was a fantastic guy to watch, who played with Page and Plant and Robert Plant's solo band. Zach Starkey, who is the Who's drummer, another guy that just puts on a physical performance, is incredible. Axl Rose, I'll never forget when they came back in 2015 or 16 doing Night Train and just sweat's dripping off in a steady streamline. Yeah, his vocals aren't quite there, but man, it's performance that I'm seeing him next weekend. I can't wait with the Pretenders opening up. Mick Jagger. How about all the football stadiums where the stage is, the full length of the width of the football field, and he's just running back and forth, making sure everybody in that audience is getting off. Little Richard. I saw Little Richard 25 years ago, and just an absolutely commanding performance where you can't take your eyes off him. He's working it hard and he's delivering the goods. Same thing with James Brown, of course. You can't keep up with him when I saw him 30 years ago. Just the hardest working guy in the show business, along with all his bandmates. Eddie Vedder, he can croon, but he can also put a show on. He can climb the rafters, like he did in those videos back in the day. But he makes sure that you're having a good time. He's commanding the stage, taking care of business. Prince was the same way. In the studio and on the stage. On the stage, he was dancing. He was playing multiple instruments. Stevie Wonder could be said the same thing. Multiple instruments, singing. There's not a second of time that's not encapsulated by his brilliance. And then the Who, just a band with multiple things going on. Keith Moon going crazy. Pete Townsend doing the windmill. Roger Daltrey spinning the microphone. The Ox is just sitting there poignantly, not doing much, but his fingers are doing a lot of work. Along with that, let's talk about some just prolific people in the studio and in bands. Rudy Sarzo. How many bands has Rudy Sarzo played in, including now the Guess Who, which is a weird combo. Blue Oyster Cult I saw him with. Whitesnake, Ozzy, Quiet Riot. He's played with everybody. He's rebooted Quiet Riot now. as the only member of the band that was on a classic record. How about Elvis? Elvis did 313 albums. And from when he came back in 1969 from that comeback special, he toured till the day that he died, pretty much nonstop. Yeah, he did a lot of Vegas stuff, but he did big stadium shows. My parents saw him on New Year's Eve 1975 going into 1976. At the Pontiac Silverdome, there was 93,000 people there. How about Steven Wilson from Porcupine Tree fame, from his own Steven Wilson band? He is constantly working on albums, and when he's not working on his own albums, he's remixing in 5.1 surround sound albums by Jethro Tull, XTC, Tears for Fears, Roxy Music, King Crimson. Yes, I mean, these bands want him to do the remix because he has that ear. How about Chick Corea? Return to Forever, acoustic band, electric band. His work with Gary Burton, 27 Grammys, 75 studio albums. He was always touring. He was always working on a new album. He was always putting out great music until the day he died. Rest in peace, sir. How about Neil Morse? Transatlantic, Spock's Beard, the Neil Morse Band, Flying Colors. He's constantly working on albums, projects, concept albums. It's hard to keep up with him. Along the same lines, Mike Portnoy. He's a drummer on all the projects that Neil Morse does, but he's also was in Dream Theater for years. He was in Sons of Apollo. He's in Transatlantic. He's in Winery Dogs. He's in Liquid Tension Experiment with John Petrucci and Tony Levin. Check that album out. It's insane. Glenn Hughes, first known from his band Trapeze. Check out the song Medusa from the Trapeze album. Then he goes into Deep Purple. Then he does work with Tony Iommi and Black Sabbath. Then he does Black Country Communion, his own stuff, Dead Daisies, California Breed, Kings of Chaos. It just, and by the way, Black Country Communion's working on their 5th record. We're going to check that out and review that when it comes out. How about session drummer and genius Kenny Aronoff? Check out Kenny Aronoff's show, the Kenny Aronoff Sessions on YouTube. It's an incredible show. He's been on 60 Grammy-nominated albums. His albums that he's been on have sold over 300 million records. He's been on 1,300 albums that have been certified gold. He's worked with John Fogerty as his main drummer. John Mellencamp, Jack and Diane. How about the drums on that, right? Smashing Pumpkins, Bob Seger, you name it. How about a band, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? Since 2012, they've done 24 studio albums. They did 5 studio albums in 2017 alone. They're unbelievable. They've been together since 2012. 24 studio albums in those years, ranging from jazz to hardcore metal to pop to everything in between. They're incredible. And lastly, Frank Zappa. 62 studio albums in his lifetime and 65 albums since he's died. Posthumous albums. Pretty unbelievable. Frank Zappa. We want our rock stars to work hard. We want them to inspire us to work hard on stage and off stage. That's my show for today. Peace out. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my shows. I try to do one every day. See ya. Have a good weekend.